Do you feel like you don't speak enough Bulgarian? That you need to know more words? Then stick around. With these lessons, you'll pick up some of the most common words in just a few minutes. Now, this video is a small portion of our learning program. To get the full lessons, translations, and Fluency Fast study tools, click the link in the description and sign up for your free lifetime account. Today we're going to talk about 4 techniques to help you stop translating in your head and instead start thinking in your target language. This will allow you to have conversations with ease, read smoothly, and better understand native speakers. These are 4 methods to help you think in a new language. Number 1, surround yourself with your target language. This way, you'll be completely immersed in the language. Without realizing it, you'll learn pronunciation, sentence structures, grammar, and new vocabulary. Play music in the background while you're cooking, or have a radio station on while you study. Just use one of our endless podcasts available to you. These are easy to listen to in the background while doing other things. Number 2, learn through observation. This is how we all learned our native languages as kids. Words will develop their own meanings that relate better to your target language, rather than meanings that are translated directly. Number 3, speak out loud to yourself. Even if you're a little embarrassed, it forces you to listen to how you speak. It makes it much easier to spot simple grammar mistakes. Number 4, practice daily. If you practice everything for only one day, you won't retain the information you learned. The brain can realistically only focus for about 30 minutes. So studying a little every day allows you to absorb better. Follow these steps and have patience. You'll soon be able to achieve your language learning goals. Just make sure to remember these 4 methods. Sign up for your free lifetime account. No credit card required, and you'll get the best free online resources. And start learning more every day. Want to finally start speaking in your target language? In this guide, you'll discover the top 7 ways to practice speaking on your own with our lessons. Let's begin. Number 1, shadowing. Shadowing is a proven learning technique where all you do is repeat what you hear in order to practice speaking. So access any audio or video lesson on the site and press the play button to start. Then, as you listen or watch, just repeat the conversations. Or, even easier, read along out loud with the dialogue section. The script is right there in front of you. With our lessons, you can master entire conversations, just like that. Number 2, read out loud. I just mentioned it, but reading out loud is another powerful tactic and deserves its own mention. With every lesson, you get written transcripts and translations. So, as you play the lesson, read the dialogue out loud as you hear it. Why? By reading out loud, you're also practicing your speaking skills. You can do this with the lesson notes, the lesson transcript, or the dialogue tool. With the dialogue tool, you can listen to each line again and again, and repeat out loud until you master them all. Number 3, speed up your reading to speed up your speaking. Being able to speak without thinking is a sign of language mastery. If you're talking to a native and can respond quickly, they'll assume that you're fairly fluent. How can you do this? When you read out loud, try increasing your speed a little bit every time. So, start by reading with the dialogue tool. If you're like most learners, you'll read the first line slowly. That's because you're still getting used to the words, which is okay. Reread it. On your second try, you know most of the words, and you'll read a little faster. Reread it again. On your third try, you'll be even faster, at a native speaker's speed. And being able to read these phrases out loud and fast will help you speak fast. Number 4, record and compare yourself with native speakers. In order to sound like a native speaker, you must imitate native speakers. So here's how. Access the voice recorder, which is in the dialogue study tool in every lesson. Click on the microphone icon. Listen to the native speaker's audio, and then record yourself. You can then compare the 2 recordings side by side, and practice and try again and again until you perfect your pronunciation. Number 5, get feedback from our Premium Plus teacher. If you're learning by yourself and don't have access to real teachers, then you can always get feedback from our Premium Plus teachers. With the My Teacher tool, you can record yourself speaking and send the audio file to the teacher. They'll review it and tell you what to improve and how. That's it. Number 6, level up your speaking with Premium Plus assignments. With Premium Plus, you can also get assignments that cover reading, writing, listening, and even speaking from your teacher. These assignments can be tailored to your goals and needs. You get a new one every week, or anytime you're ready for a new one. Number 7, get even more lessons in the lesson library. If you want even more lessons on speaking and conversations, visit our lesson library and under Category, choose Conversation. You'll get all of the pathways and lessons that are focused on speaking. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share it with anyone who's trying to learn a language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. And if you're ready to finally learn language the fast, fun, and easy way, and start speaking from your very first lesson, get our complete learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Click the link in the description. I'll see you next time. Bye! You've decided to study a new language. So now what? Well, you want to become fluent fast, right? Here are the top 5 shortcuts to learning a language. Number 1, create a study schedule and set some goals. Many language learners are unorganized. Creating a schedule allows you to free up time to study consistently. Goals give you motivation and something to strive for. Number 2, make it fun. If you learn how to make your study time enjoyable, chances are you'll be more inclined to study. Watch a TV show with subtitles or listen to some music. Number 3, find a language partner. This is the best way to improve your conversation skills. It will help you gain fluency even faster and increase confidence when speaking. Number 4, use word lists to build up a solid vocabulary. This is a great way to build up your fluency, one word at a time. Luckily, we have all the word lists you need, with a range of topics, from food to love. Choose whichever language you want to study and go. Number 5, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Nothing helps you improve more than correcting your own errors. You're more likely to remember it correctly the next time around. Everyone makes mistakes. Don't be afraid to learn from them. There's no magical way to learn a new language overnight, but doing all of these can really help your learning process. And remember, if you're interested in getting on the fast track to fluency, sign up for your free lifetime account. No credit card required, and you'll get the best free online resources. Start learning now.
Здрасти, аз съм Ива. Hi everybody, I'm Eva. Welcome to BulgarianPod101.com's Български в 3 минути, the fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn Bulgarian. In the last lesson, we learned how to use the verb idvam and other similar verbs that are used to describe movement. We will now jump into our lessons dedicated to question words in Bulgarian. Our first one is the most commonly used one, what. You will see that there are many ways to use it in Bulgarian. You call up your friend on the phone and want to know what he's doing. How will you do it? You will ask, какво правиш? So let's break down this question. Какво is the Bulgarian way to say what, and правиш is the second person form of the verb правя, which we already studied. So altogether it is какво правиш? What are you doing? If you want to sound more formal, you can say какво правите. Here the verb правя is in the second person plural form, правите, which is the formal way to say you do. You can use it if you are talking to an older person or a superior person in a work context. But if we have a noun following the question word, we have to change the question word to match the gender of the noun. So if you have a question like, what is your favorite car brand? In Bulgarian, it will sound like this. Каква е любимата ти марка коли? Here the question is informal because we use the second person singular of the pronoun for you, ти. What else do we have? The question word какво, which was in neuter, now has changed to каква, the feminine for what. This happens because the word for car, кола, is in feminine too. So altogether we have каква, meaning what, then which is the verb to be in the third person singular. We have talked about this verb in a previous lesson. Then we have любимата, which is an adjective meaning favorite, again in feminine. Then ti or you, your. Marka is the Bulgarian word for brand, again in feminine. And finally we have кола, meaning car in plural, коли. Каква е любимата ти марка коли? Literally, what is your favorite car's brand? Now let's see how this question word какво will change if we attach it to a masculine noun. Какъв ден е днес? This means what day is today. You can ask this question when wondering if it's Tuesday or Wednesday and so on. Again, какъв is in masculine because the word day, then, is in masculine too. Now it's time for Eva's insights. Sometimes in everyday conversation, Bulgarian people use the word какво when they want you to repeat something they didn't hear well. In this lesson, we learned how to translate the word what depending on the grammatical situation. If you remember the simple rule that words should match their gender, I'm sure you'll be able to master asking questions in Bulgarian. In the next lesson, we will learn where questions. I'll be waiting for you in the next Български в 3 минути lesson. До скоро! Здрасти, аз съм Ива. Hi everybody, I'm Eva. Welcome to BulgarianPod101.com's Български в 3 минути, the fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn Bulgarian. In the last lesson, we learned how to ask what questions in Bulgarian. This time, we are going to ask where questions. You call up your friend and you want to ask where he is now. You will ask him, къде си? This is the exact translation of where are you? Къде си? So let's break down this question. First we had къде, which is the basic translation of where in Bulgarian. Si, which is you are, the second person singular form of the verb съм, which we have already studied. So altogether it is къде си, where are you? Since we are asking a friend, this is the informal way to construct the question. So in Bulgarian, where is translated as къде. For example, if you want to ask where do you live, you will say къде живееш. As in English, the question word is placed in the first position here, then comes the verb which implies the subject, in this case, you. But be careful because several variations of къде are possible in Bulgarian. For example, if you want to ask where do you come from, you will use откъде instead of just къде. So that question in Bulgarian is откъде идваш? Откъде идваш? The word къде also changes if you're asking about a destination. For example, на къде отиваш literally means where are you going to? Sometimes къде can be used in the middle of the sentence. For example, if you were to say I don't know where my bag is, in Bulgarian this will be не зная къде ми е чантата. It is used just the same way as in English. The grammatical rule for къде, откъде, or накъде remains the same. They all have to be followed by a verb. Къде си? Here the verb is съм. Откъде идваш? Here the verb is to come, идвам. Накъде отиваш? Here the verb is to go, отивам. Now it's time for Eva's insights. In some older Bulgarian texts, you might see откъде written with a space after от. It used to always be written that way, but it was recently decided to merge the question word and preposition just like накъде. It also helps the written language to look exactly like the word is pronounced in spoken Bulgarian. In this lesson, we learned how to use the Bulgarian word for where. Now you can avoid getting lost. But to get to your destination, you need to be on time. Do you know how to ask when in Bulgarian? I'll tell you all about it in the next Български в 3 минути lesson. До скоро! Здрасти, аз съм Ива. Hi everybody, I'm Eva. Welcome to BulgarianPod101.com's Български в 3 минути. The fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Bulgarian. In the last lesson, we learned how to ask where questions in Bulgarian. This time, we are going to ask when questions. Imagine you want to ask when your roommate is coming back home. You will ask, кога ще се върнеш вкъщи? Кога ще се върнеш вкъщи? So let's break down this question. First we had кога, which is the basic translation of when in Bulgarian. Ще се върнеш is formed with the verb to come back, връщам се, in the second person form. Adding ще makes it future tense. You will come back. Ще се върнеш. And вкъщи is home. So altogether it is кога ще се върнеш вкъщи? When will you come back home? So in Bulgarian, when is generally translated as кога. For example, if you want to ask when were you born, it would be кога си роден. Here the subject is in masculine form. If we want to ask the question in feminine form, it would be кога си родена. However, make sure you're careful when asking this question. So let's have a look at some more examples. How can you say when did you arrive? It's really simple since it's exactly the same pattern. Кога пристигна? First we have кога, when. The second word is пристигна, which is the second person form of the past tense of the verb пристигам, to arrive. If you want to ask a question about duration, as in since when have you been a teacher, you will have to say от кога си преподавател. Here, от кога means since when. We form it by adding от to the question word as we did in our previous lesson when talking about from where. What about until when? It's very easy because you can translate it directly again by adding one particle. It becomes до кога. So for example, if you want to ask a friend until when are you going to stay here, it will be до кога ще останеш тук. Now it's time for Eva's insights. To ask how long an action has been taking place in Bulgarian, we could say от кога, but there is another very simple way to do it. You just have to use the pattern от колко, as in от колко време чакаш. That is, how long have you been waiting? In this lesson, we learned how to correctly use the Bulgarian word for when, кога. Now that you can ask about the time for events, how can you ask about the people who participate in them? Next lesson, we'll learn about asking who questions in Bulgarian. I'll be waiting for you in the next Български в 3 минути lesson. До скоро! Здрасти, аз съм Ива. Hi everybody, I'm Eva. Welcome to BulgarianPod101.com's Български в 3 минути. The fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Bulgarian. In the last lesson, we learned how to ask when questions in Bulgarian. This time, we are going to ask who questions. Imagine you want to ask your friend who the girl sitting behind him is. You could ask, кое е това момиче зад теб? Who is this girl behind you? Кое е това момиче зад теб? So let's break down this question. First we had кое, which is the way we say who in Bulgarian when we are speaking about a neuter subject, because girl in Bulgarian is in neuter. Is, the third person form of the verb some, which we have already studied. Това момиче, which means this girl. And finally, зад теб, which is behind you. Теб is the informal pronoun for you. Altogether, it is кое е това момиче зад теб? Koje is the way to ask about a neuter subject, but for masculine subject we use koi. For example, if you want to ask who is this man, you will say koi e този мъж. As in English, the question word is placed in the first position and is followed by the verb and then the subject. And what about if you want to ask information about things or people in feminine form? You should use коя. For example, коя е тази улица? Literally, this means whose street is this, but it's used to mean which street is this and is a very useful phrase when you're trying to find your way in Bulgaria. If you're admiring a painting in a museum, you can ask a guide, кои са тези хора на картината? This means, who are those people in the painting? Here the question word is in plural form because we are talking about a group of people. A similar word in English is whose. The Bulgarian word for this is also similar. If you want to ask whose pencil is it, you will have to say на кого е този молив. If we break down this question, it is на кого, which is whose, which is the verb some in the third person singular form, and finally този молив, which means this pencil. You can also use the word кого from на кого in a slightly different phrase to ask for whom is it. In Bulgarian, we use the phrase за кого. So if you want to know for whom is this piece of cake, it will be за кого е това парче торта. Now it's time for Eva's insights. If someone that you didn't expect is knocking at your door in Bulgaria, the common question you can ask is кой е before opening the door. This literally means who is it? But you have to be very casual in asking кой е because it is an informal expression. I recommend you say it with a cheerful tone, otherwise it will sound a bit rude. In this lesson, we learned how to use the word for who in Bulgarian. The next lesson will be our last of this Absolute Beginner series. And you might be wondering, is there another way to ask questions in Bulgarian? What if your friends ask you why you're studying Bulgarian? We will deal with that in the next Български в 3 минути lesson. До скоро! Здрасти, аз съм Ива. Hi everybody, I'm Eva. Welcome to BulgarianPod101.com's Български в 3 минути. The fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn Bulgarian. In the last lesson, we learned how to ask who questions in Bulgarian. This time, we are going to ask why questions. Imagine your boss is calling you because you are not at work today. She asks, защо не сте в офиса днес? This means, why aren't you at the office today? Защо не сте в офиса днес? So let's break down this question. First we had защо, which is the basic translation of why in Bulgarian. Не сте, which is the second person plural of the verb съм in the negative form. В офиса, which is at the office. And finally, днес, which is today. Altogether it is защо не сте в офиса днес? So in Bulgarian, защо is how you ask why. Your boss might also use it to ask, why are you late today? Защо закъсняхте днес? Note that here the sentence is formal again as we use the second person plural form of the verb закъснявам, which means to be late. Another common usage of защо is to ask the objective of something, but in this case it is split into two words, за and какво. So here, за какво is closer to the meaning what for. In Bulgarian, we say за какво е направено, which literally means what is it made for. Now it's time for Eva's insights. Just like English, Bulgarian also has a phrase which means why not? Защо не? The usage is the same as in English. So if a friend asks you suddenly, hey, want to go to the movies tonight? You can answer защо не? Why not? This lesson is the last of this Absolute Beginner video series, but it's hopefully not the last you learn about the Bulgarian language. Do you know how many other fun ways there are to use your new Bulgarian skills? To take your language ability to the next level, check out BulgarianPod101.com, the fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn Bulgarian. До скоро!
Hey everyone! Welcome to your monthly review, the monthly show on language learning, where you discover new learning strategies, motivational tips, new study tools, resources, and where we show off learners like you speaking the language. That is, if you're brave enough to participate and become language learning famous. All the materials mentioned in this video are available for you right now on our website. Click the link in the description to sign up for your free lifetime account and start speaking in minutes. Okay, today's topic is why your worst days are the best days to study. So, have you ever had a day where you planned on learning language and you just couldn't go through with it? Even if learning a new language is your personal goal, something that you really want? Well, today you're going to learn 1. Why these bad days happen, and 2. Why you'll get your best work done on your worst days. Let's start. Why bad days happen with language learning. When I say bad days, I don't mean when you're too busy or when life gets in the way. These things are unavoidable. I mean days when you're just not in the mood. It's a perfectly good day, the sun is shining, no bad news, but you just can't get yourself to study. You're just wasting the day. So here's why they happen. First, it's the law of diminishing returns in action. What does this mean? Think of it as eating pizza every day for 5 days a week. On the first day, the first 2 slices are great, but by the third one, you're feeling queasy. It's not as good. And by the 5th day, you're sick of pizza. That's the law of diminishing returns, when the benefits start decreasing over time. And it happens with language learning. When you first start, you learn a lot of phrases and it feels good. You're excited. But as time goes on, you don't feel like you're learning much, and this affects your mood and motivation, so you're not as excited to learn anymore. So you start having bad days. Second, bad days happen because you overthink things and ruin it for yourself. It's like dreading going to the gym. Let's say you went yesterday. You have to go again today. So you're dreading it all day long. I gotta go again. You set yourself up for a bad mood and a bad day. Third, bad days are a natural part of the cycle. Some days will be good. Most days you'll feel indifferent. Some days will be bad. But that's completely natural, and anyone with long-term projects and goals feels the same. And fourth, you can't be on 100% of the time. So just like days can't always be good, you too can't always be on and ready to go all the time. Again, just a realistic and expected part of the journey. Now, let's jump into the second part. Why you'll get your best work done on your worst days. So, why will you get your best work done? First, it's not that bad once you start. Once you've spent 10 or 15 minutes learning a language, it's not so bad. People say the same thing about the gym. If you show up and put in a bit of time, it gets easier. Second, it's overcoming a mental barrier. What I mean is, when most of us have bad days, our brain automatically says, okay, can't be done today. Stop, we're done. But if you just work through it, you don't take these bad days so seriously anymore. And that means you're more likely to stick with your language learning goal. This brings us to the next point. Third, it's your best work because working on a bad day only strengthens your habit of language learning. Remember, habits are what will help you master a language over time. If you can stick to a habit on a bad day, your habit only gets stronger, and it will lead you to fluency. And finally, fourth, it just feels good to overcome something. Imagine you have a bad day, but you still put in 10 minutes of language learning. It's a real sense of achievement. And it doesn't matter if you do a 10-minute lesson or a 5-minute lesson. The fact that you made some progress on a bad day will give you the motivation you need to keep going. Now, speaking of lessons, here are this month's new lessons and resources. First, the Best of 2018 Language Learning Cheat Sheets. If you want to get access to all of our conversation cheat sheets that we sent out this year, here's your chance. Download this PDF bundle right now. Next, the brand new Supermarket Cheat Sheet. With this cheat sheet, you'll learn must-know shopping phrases and vocab for meats, vegetables, and all products that you'll find in a supermarket. And finally, the most common adjectives. If you're a beginner and don't yet know these adjectives, then this is a perfect chance to boost your vocabulary. This 1-minute lesson will get them stuck in your head, guaranteed. To get these free lessons and resources, just click the link in the description below. All right, everyone. Now we're asking you to submit a video or audio file of yourself speaking the language. If you do, you'll win 3 free months of access to our learning program, which includes your very own teacher. Here's the challenge for you. Yes, everyone watching this. Record a 30-second to 1-minute video or audio clip. Introduce yourself in the language. Share your name, where you're from, and why you're studying this language. And you'll win a 3-month Premium Plus subscription. To submit, click on the link in the description. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Then, fill out the form. Attach the audio or video file, and press submit. We may feature you in next month's episode. So a lot of learners will see you and your progress, and will hopefully get inspired to improve and master the language. To submit a recording, click the link in the description and follow the instructions on the page. So thank you for watching this episode of Monthly Review. Next time, we'll talk about how to set achievable language learning goals and resolutions. In the meantime, submit your recording if you're brave. Like and share this video, and leave a comment to tell us what language learning tactics you'd like us to talk about. See you next time. Bye! You probably already have language learning goals, but the real key to success is to make the right goals. In this video, I'll show you how, with 5 tips to stop wasting your time and start learning. Hi everyone, Alicia here. In this video, I'll teach you 5 tips to stop procrastinating and keep your motivation for learning a new language. Some of these are study methods, and some will be general ways that you can keep your study motivation up. While these tips are for studying a language, some of them are good for other things in your life too, such as new challenges or other types of goals. But before we start, don't forget to click the link in the description to get your bundle of PDF cheat sheets, including survival phrases, romantic lines, learning tips, absolutely free. Now, you probably already have some goals you're trying to achieve when it comes to your language learning progress. While achieving these goals is important, making sure you make the right goals is the real key to success. The very first tip is to set SMART goals. SMART is an acronym, meaning each letter in the word stands for another word. The earliest known reference to SMART goals was in an article written by George T. Doran for a 1981 issue of the Management Review Academic Journal. The acronym varies depending on its use, but each letter generally stands for some criterion that helps with effective goal setting. For our purposes, let's define SMART goals as follows. The S stands for specific. Your goals should target a specific area for improvement. Our natural tendency is to have a goal that's very general. If your goal isn't specific enough, you'll lack the focus and proper direction you need to achieve your goals. So S is for specific. M stands for measurable. Your goals should be quantifiable. They should be able to indicate progress in some way. You have to be able to track your progress, otherwise you won't know if you're getting any closer to your goal. As you see yourself getting closer and closer to your goal, your motivation will go up. So your goals need to be measurable. A stands for achievable. Your goals have to be achievable. Many people want to become fluent in their target language immediately. However, this goal is unrealistic. Your goals have to be achievable. If your goal is too challenging for your current level, it will only demotivate you when you aren't where you think you should be. Instead, think about what results can realistically be achieved given your level, your resources, and any constraints, such as time. So make sure that your goal is actually achievable. R stands for relevant. Your goals may be specific, they may be measurable, and they may be achievable, but are they actually relevant to what you want to achieve? Don't just do a lot of things. If you're focused on improving your speaking skills in your target language, make sure that you spend your time having conversations with others. Make sure you're doing the right things so that your efforts actually bring you closer to your goal instead of just giving you more work. T stands for timely. You need to set a deadline for your goals. If you don't specify when you plan to achieve the result you've set for yourself, it's very easy to put off the task. You can delay it until tomorrow, the next week, or the next month, and at this rate, you'll never get things done. So your goal must have an end date. So remember, tip number 1 is to set SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. So, for example, a goal you could make is registering for a challenging test, a test that's a little bit beyond your current level. I hate failing, so if I register for a challenging test, I'm motivated to study because I don't want to fail. This is a good example of a SMART goal because tests are specific. There are tons of different tests focused on speaking, grammar, and comprehension. Pick a test that can measure the specific area in which you'd like to grow. Measurable. Tests are measurable. Every test measures your performance to some degree. Whether it's a total count of right and wrong answers or a simple pass or fail, every test measures your performance. Tests are achievable. There's an important detail to remember here, though. Find a test that is achievable for you. If you're a beginner, then the most advanced test is probably not right for you. Find one that's meant for beginners. Then, after that one, work your way up to more advanced tests in the future. Tests are relevant. Most, if not all, language tests are designed to ensure that you're capable of performing to a set standard in your target language. Lower-level tests are designed to ensure that you can handle the most essential aspects of your target language. But there are tests for all levels, including higher education entry exams that could be difficult, even for native speakers. Pick the one that's right for you. And finally, tests are timely. If your test is completed in a physical location, then this one is obvious. You have to be at that spot at the set time, ready to take the test. There's no wiggle room. But even online tests will most likely have a deadline for you to complete them. The second tip to help you stop procrastinating and to keep your motivation up is to create a diary or social media account that you can update every day. This may seem simple or even unrelated to language learning, but by creating a diary in your target language, you have the chance to actually create in the language itself. Creating a diary is also a great way to practice writing in your target language. Another method is to create a social media account, which gives you the chance to connect with other people who are working toward the same goals as you. Maybe they can even give you feedback on your writing. If you're following people online who regularly share good resources, those can be really helpful for you too. It lets you find new tools that can encourage and motivate you, especially if they relate to some of your other interests, such as music or books in other languages. This is a really good way to take a few minutes every day to work towards your goal, without it even seeming like work. The third tip is to focus on understanding a specific TV show or movie. Try to watch a movie in your target language without any subtitles, or try to understand your favorite TV show that's in your target language. If you don't already have a goal like this, it can be a fun way to practice. If your friends often talk about a particular TV show, it could be a good way to study and a fun way to keep your motivation up together. Plus, TV shows and movies often use the language in a way that's vastly different from the conversations provided in traditional textbooks, so you often get to hear different vocabulary choices. It's a very powerful way to learn a language and end up sounding more like a native speaker. Tip number 4 is to enroll in a regular language course. Register for something you have to go to or you have to participate in regularly, meaning every week or 2 times a week or maybe even every day. The point of this is it's something that gives you a pattern to follow. Forming a study habit will help you progress very quickly. It will make it easier for you to achieve your language learning goals. Once you form the habit, you won't even have to think about starting each time. It'll just be natural. Have something that you must take responsibility for. You'll be more motivated to continue if there are others, especially classmates or a teacher, watching you progress. Look for resources inside your community, and if there are no opportunities there, look for things digitally. You can find many of our videos on YouTube, on Facebook, and of course, our entire video and audio lesson library on our website. The lessons on our website also come with assignment courses, so you can test your knowledge. The last tip is to make your goal public. Share your goal. Tell people about your goal. For example, if you want to give a business presentation in your target language this year, then tell your colleagues or your boss about it. Some people may find what you're doing interesting, and they can support you. This kind of pressure can help push people forward who have trouble motivating themselves alone. By telling others about your goal, you'll feel more accountable. Because you told somebody that you were planning on doing something, there's an underlying sense of guilt if you don't accomplish the task. You may feel that you have failed your peers in some way, even if there's no direct pressure from them. Using this technique, you can push yourself into moving forward toward your goal, especially at times when you feel the least motivated. And that brings us to the end of our 5 tips to stop wasting time and start learning a language. We've talked a lot about how to set goals for yourself and think about new challenges. First, I told you about creating SMART goals. Remember, SMART goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. Registering for a test is a great example of a SMART goal. Next, we talked about keeping a diary or social media account in your target language. Start doing it right now, even if you're still a beginner. Then, I suggested that you focus on understanding a specific TV show or movie. Pick something in your target language that you really love, because you may need to watch it over and over again until it all makes sense to you. And next, we talked about enrolling in a regular language course. This will give you something concrete that you must take responsibility for. Finally, make your goal public. Tell someone about your learning goals to keep you accountable for them. You're much less likely to abandon your studies if you have friends asking you about your progress. I hope that these are useful tips that you can use to reach your language learning goals. And before we go, let me remind you to download tons of free PDF lessons to learn the language the fast, fun, and easy way. Just click the link in the description. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and share it with anyone who may find it useful. Do you have any good tips that you've used to help you reach your goals? Share them in the comments. Thanks very much for watching, and see you next time.
Do you like it?
Харесва ли ти? Харесва ли ти?
It looks great.
Изглежда страхотно. Изглежда страхотно.
I have no money.
Нямам пари. Нямам пари.
I want to go here.
Искам да отида тук. Искам да отида тук.
I'm looking for this place.
Търся това място. Търся това място.
It takes 3 to 5 business days.
Отнема от 3 до 5 работни дни. Отнема от 3 до 5 работни дни.
Could I have a statement, please?
Мога ли да получа извадка, моля? Мога ли да получа извадка, моля?
I'd like to exchange money.
Бих искал да обменя пари. Бих искал да обменя пари.
I'd like to make a withdrawal.
Бих искал да изтегля пари. Бих искал да изтегля пари.
I'd like to make a deposit.
Бих искал да направя депозит. Бих искал да направя депозит.
Sign here, please.
Подпишете тук, моля. Подпишете тук, моля.
Go back.
Върнете се обратно. Върнете се обратно.
Are there any annual charges with this account?
Има ли някакви годишни такси с тази сметка? Има ли някакви годишни такси с тази сметка?
I'd like to open an account.
Бих искал да си открия сметка. Бих искал да си открия сметка.
Does this hurt?
Боли ли? Боли ли?
I have a cough.
Имам кашлица. Имам кашлица.
I have a stomach ache.
Имам болки в корема. Имам болки в корема.
I have a headache.
Имам главоболие. Имам главоболие.
I have a fever.
Имам температура. Имам температура.
It's already full.
Вече е пълен. Вече е пълен.
About 2 weeks.
Около 2 седмици. Около 2 седмици.
Is there something wrong?
Има ли някакъв проблем? Има ли някакъв проблем?
I'm here to visit family.
Тук съм на семейно посещение. Тук съм на семейно посещение.
I'm here on business.
Тук съм по бизнес. Тук съм по бизнес.
I'll stay at the Central Hotel.
Ще отседна в Централ хотел. Ще отседна в Централ хотел.
Have you ever been here before?
Били ли сте някога тук преди? Били ли сте някога тук преди?
It will snow on Friday.
Ще вали сняг в петък. Ще вали сняг в петък.
Tomorrow will be sunny with showers.
Утре ще бъде слънчево с превалявания. Утре ще бъде слънчево с превалявания.
Tomorrow will be sunny.
Утре ще бъде слънчево. Утре ще бъде слънчево.
What's the temperature?
Каква е температурата? Каква е температурата?
Is it hot in the summer?
Горещо ли е през лятото? Горещо ли е през лятото?
What's the weather like in winter?
Какво е времето през зимата? Какво е времето през зимата?
There will be heavy rain in the evening.
Ще има силен дъжд вечерта. Ще има силен дъжд вечерта.
There will be thunderstorms in the afternoon.
След обяд ще има гръмотевични бури. След обяд ще има гръмотевични бури.
It will rain in the afternoon.
Вали град. Вали град.
What bad weather?
Какво лошо време. Какво лошо време.
It's been raining all day.
Вали цял ден. Вали цял ден.
It's a beautiful day.
Прекрасен ден е. Прекрасен ден е.
So, what's new?
Е, какво ново? Е, какво ново?
Where did you go today?
Къде ходи днес? Къде ходи днес?
What are you doing tomorrow?
Какво ще правиш утре? Какво ще правиш утре?
How is your day?
Как беше денят ти? Как беше денят ти?
Where is everyone?
Къде са всички? Къде са всички?
What's for dinner?
Какво има за вечеря? Какво има за вечеря?
I'll be back tonight.
Ще се върна до вечера. Ще се върна до вечера.
Do you need anything?
Трябва ли ти нещо? Трябва ли ти нещо?
I'm leaving now.
Излизам сега. Излизам сега.
There's no toilet paper.
Няма тоалетна хартия. Няма тоалетна хартия.
The TV isn't working.
Телевизорът не работи. Телевизорът не работи.
What time is breakfast?
В колко часа е закуската? В колко часа е закуската?
Want to speak real Bulgarian from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at BulgarianPod101.com.
Please forgive me.
Моля те, прости ми. Моля те, прости ми.
Really?
Наистина ли? Наистина ли?
Please?
Моля. Моля.
I'm sorry.
Съжалявам. Съжалявам.
Help.
Помощ. Помощ.
I like it.
Харесва ми. Харесва ми.
Awesome.
Страхотно. Страхотно.
I don't like it.
Не ми харесва. Не ми харесва.
What is it?
Какво е това? Какво е това?
Where are you from?
Откъде си? Откъде си?
How old are you?
На колко години си? На колко години си?
What's your phone number?
Какъв е телефонният ти номер? Какъв е телефонният ти номер?
What time is it?
Колко е часът? Колко е часът?
Long time no see.
Отдавна не сме се виждали. Отдавна не сме се виждали.
You're welcome.
Няма защо. Няма защо.
Thank you.
Благодаря. Благодаря.
This is for you.
Това е за теб. Това е за теб.
I'm good.
Добре съм. Добре съм.
How have you been?
Как си напоследък? Как си напоследък?
How are you?
Как сте? Как сте?
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Съжалявам, че те накарах да чакаш. Съжалявам, че те накарах да чакаш.
Nice to meet you.
Приятно ми е да се запознаем. Приятно ми е да се запознаем.
Make yourself at home.
Чувствайте се като у дома си. Чувствайте се като у дома си.
It's difficult.
Трудно е. Трудно е.
Once again, please.
Още веднъж моля. Още веднъж моля.
Slower, please.
По-бавно моля. По-бавно моля.
I don't understand.
Не разбирам. Не разбирам.
It's okay.
Всичко е наред. Всичко е наред.
Don't worry.
Не се притеснявай. Не се притеснявай.
It takes about 30 minutes by train.
Отнема около 30 минути с влак. Отнема около 30 минути с влак.
I want a bottle of water.
Искам бутилка вода. Искам бутилка вода.
I live in Los Angeles.
Живея в Лос-Анджелис. Живея в Лос-Анджелис.
My vacation starts in 2 weeks.
Ваканцията ми започва след 2 седмици. Ваканцията ми започва след 2 седмици.
I've changed.
Аз се промених. Аз се промених.
I won't do it again.
Няма да се повтори. Няма да се повтори.
This weekend I'm going to the movies.
Този уикенд ще ходя на кино. Този уикенд ще ходя на кино.
What are you doing this weekend?
Какво ще правиш този уикенд? Какво ще правиш този уикенд?
I'll have time next week.
Имам време следващата седмица. Имам време следващата седмица.
I'm busy this week.
Заед съм тази седмица. Заед съм тази седмица.
Ready to start?
Готови ли сте да започнем? Готови ли сте да започнем?
You're handsome.
Ти си привлекателен. Ти си привлекателен.
I'm having a great time.
Прекарвам си чудесно. Прекарвам си чудесно.
Would you like to dance?
Искаш ли да танцуваме? Искаш ли да танцуваме?
Where do you want to go?
Къде искаш да отидем? Къде искаш да отидем?
You look great.
Изглеждаш чудесно. Изглеждаш чудесно.
Can you come back later?
Може ли да дойдете отново по-късно? Може ли да дойдете отново по-късно?
Sorry, we're completely booked.
Съжалявам, но сме резервирани изцяло. Съжалявам, но сме резервирани изцяло.
We'll give you a call.
Ще ви се обадим. Ще ви се обадим.
I'll leave it up to you.
Ще оставя на вас да прецените. Ще оставя на вас да прецените.
Remember, here's what you can do to learn all of these words by heart. Drill these words with our spaced repetition flashcards, which will help cement these words into your long-term memory. Save them to the Word Bank, your personal vocabulary collection where you can print out your own study sheets, or review the words with our looped vocabulary slideshow and play it until you know all of the words. So click the link in the description right now and sign up for your free lifetime account to get these lessons and study tools.